Okay, so then the next thing to review here is we've looked at equations. Now, equations like 5x plus 3 plus 4x equal 48. And when we go to solve an equation like that, before we start to solve it, we have to combine whatever we can on each side. So on the left side here, is there anything I can combine? 5x and the 4x make 9x. Now we still have the positive 3. Is there anything else on the left side we can combine? No. On the right side, we just have the 48, so there's obviously nothing we can do over there. Now the next thing we would have to check is to make sure that the variable only appears once. And it does. It's only on the left side here. So now we would go ahead and solve this by doing what? Subtracting 3. 9x is 45. And then divide by 9. X equals 5. And we could have equations like 2x plus 13 plus 3x equals 4x minus 7 plus 3x. If I go to solve this, again, I'm going to look at the left side first. What can I combine there? 2x and 3x make 5x. I still have the plus 13. Nothing else I can combine on the left, so I'm going to go over to the right side. So over here, anything I can combine there? 4x and 3x make 7x. I still have the minus 7. So there's nothing more I can combine on either side. So now I look at it, and I have a variable on each side here. So what do I have to do? Get rid of the smaller one, which is going to be 5x. It's a positive 5x, so I'm going to subtract it. So it'll be gone there. Leaves me with just the 13 on the left there. I have to subtract 5x from the other side as well. I can only take it away from 7x. So 7x minus 5x is 2x, and I still have the negative 7. So now I'm down to my variable appearing only once. So I can go ahead and solve. What do I do first? Add 7. So 20 equals, all that's left over here now is the 2x. And then divide by 2. 10 equals x. And as always, I could always go back and put the number into the original equation for x and make sure that I get the same value on each side. I'm not going to do that here because I'm pretty confident that it's going to work. The reason we're doing that is today we're going to run into some problem solving where that variable may appear more than once. So we might have a problem like Steve is 6 years older than Pete. Kate is 4 years older than Pete. The sum of their ages is 28. Find each, I'll just say find the age of each. So here we have Steve, Pete, and Kate. I need an expression for their age. Now I can't just do S, P, and K, or X, Y, and Z, or whatever, because that would be 3 variables. And we don't know how to solve an equation with 3 variables in it yet. So we have to express these as a single variable. That single variable is going to have to be one of the ages of the people. Is there one person who is referenced for both people? Pete, yes. Steve is 6 years older than Pete. Kate is 4 years older than Pete. So both of them have their ages defined by Pete's age. So I'm going to let Pete's age be X. So Steve is 6 years older than Pete. What does that mean for Steve's age? X plus 6 or 6 plus X? 6 years older. Whatever Pete is, add 6 to it to get Steve. Kate is 4 years older than Pete. That means X plus 4 or 4 plus X, either way. Take Pete's age and add 4 to it. So now we look for the relationship. The relationship is the sum of their ages is 28. So that means they add up to 28. X plus 6 plus X plus 4 equals 28. So now on the left side here, the X appears more than once. So I'm going to do some combining. I can combine X, X, and X again to make 3X. Anything else I can combine? 6 and 4 make 10. Now I've got this down where the variable only appears once and everything I can combine is combined, so I can solve my equation. Where do I start? Subtract 10. 3x equals 18, and then divide by 3. So x equals 6. Now I have to make sure I answer the question. And it's really easy at this point. You've solved the equation. It's really easy to think, I'm done. I've got it done. But I have to go back and make sure I've answered the question. The question is asking, find the age of each. Well, Pete is 6. That's one of them. But I have to do Steve. X plus 6 will be 6 plus 6, or 12 for Steve. Kate is going to be X plus 4, or 6 plus 4 is 10 for Kate. Any questions? Okay, so next, let's have Pat is 3 years older than Peyton. Chris is 2 years older than Pat. The sum of their ages is 41. Find the age of each. So we've got Pat, Peyton, and Chris. Is there one that both of them are referenced off of here? Well, Pat is 3 years older than Peyton, so Pat references Peyton. Chris is 2 years older than Pat. Chris references Pat. So no, there isn't one that both of them are referenced off of here. So you have to think of who is referenced first in line. What I mean by that is, okay, Chris's age is referenced off of Pat, but Pat's age is referenced off of Peyton. So Peyton is really where this all starts. So we're going to let Peyton's age be X. Pat is referenced off of Peyton. Pat is 3 years older than Peyton. So what does that mean? X plus 3 or 3 plus X? Now, Chris is 2 years older than Pat. So that's saying take Pat's age and add 2 to it. Well, Pat's age is X plus 3 plus another 2. In other words, X plus 5. So their sum is 41. So they're going to add up to 41. So we've got X plus 3 plus X plus 5. And we can combine here to get what on the left side here? Perfect. X, and X make 3X. 3 and 5 make 8. So 3X plus 8 equals 41. What is next? Subtract 8. So 3X equals 33. And then divide by 3. So X equals 11. So again, we have to make sure we answer the question, which was find the age of each. X is 11. That is Peyton's age. Pat is going to be X plus 3. So 11 plus 3 is 14 for Pat. Chris is X plus 5. So 11 plus 5 is 16 for Chris. We're going to have you guys try one. Tim is 7 years older than Stacy. Kim is 3 years younger than Tim. The sum of their ages is 53. Find the age of each. I'll give you a couple minutes to do that in your notes. Let's see how you're doing. So which one did you let be X? Stacy, okay. So Stacy is X. Tim is X plus 7 or 7 plus X. Kim, okay, so x plus 7 will be Tim minus 3, so that is x plus 4. Because Kim is 3 years younger than Tim, so it's Tim's age minus 3. So then we've got the x plus 7 plus x plus 4 equals 53. Then what? Okay, x and x makes 3x. 7 and 4 does make 11. And then? Subtract 11. Perfect. 3x equals 42. And then? Divide by 3. X equals 14. Stacy's 14. So Tim is 21. 14 plus 7. So 14 plus 4 is 18 for Kim. Not bad. Any questions? Okay. We might have a problem like the length of a rectangle is 3 times its width. The perimeter is 176 inches. Find the length and width. So we can draw a picture. Here's our length, here's our width. Again, we'd have our formula, perimeter equals 2 times the length times, or plus 2 times the width. I know the perimeter is 176. I know I'm going to put 176 in there. But I still have 2 variables, L and W. I have to get rid of one of them. So there's got to be a relationship between the length and width somewhere. What is it? Length is 3 times the width. So the length is going to be expressed as 3 times W. So in my formula, wherever I see L, I'm going to replace it with 3W. So instead of 2 times L, it's going to be 2 times 3W. Plus, I still got my 2W. So now before I solve, I have to try to combine everything I can on each side. 176 is by itself, so that's just going to stay. On the right side, what's the first thing I have to do? Two times 3W is 6W. Then I can combine what? 6W and 2W makes 8W. So we got 176 equals 8W, and then divide by 8 gives me that 22 equals W. So again, we have to answer the question. It says find length and width. Well, the width is 22. We found that. The length is 3 times 22, or 66 for the length. We might end up with a problem like this. The length of a rectangle is 7 more than its width. The perimeter is 134 feet. Find the length and the width. So here again we have our length and our width. Our formula, perimeter is equal to 2L plus 2W. And we know that 134 is going in for the perimeter. Once again, we need to get rid of either the L or the W. Do we have a relationship between them? The length is 7 more than the width. So the length implies that the length equals something. 7 more than the width is W plus 7. So that means over here we're going to replace L with W plus 7. So 2 times L becomes 2 times, and we're going to put this in parentheses, W plus 7. So now we got to do some combining, simplifying on the right side. The left side is just 134. What do we have to do on the right? Distribute that 2 through the parentheses. Right? We see a parenthesis, so it should draw us in. Nothing to do inside them, so we're going to have to multiply by 2. 2 times W? 2W. 2 times 7 is 14. Now we got the 2W. What's next? Perfect. 2W and 2W makes 4W. We still have the plus 14. And then minus 14. So 120 equals 4W, and then divided by 4. 30 equals W. So coming up here, W equals 30. Length is W plus 7, or 30 plus 7 is 37 for the length. Well, since we're having fun with those, the length of a rectangle is 5 more than twice the width. The perimeter is 250 inches. Find the length and the width. So we've got our length and our width again. We know the perimeter is 250, so I'm going to put 250 in for P. What's our relationship between length and width? 5 more than something means we're adding 5, but 5 more than what? Twice the width. So that means the length is 2W plus 5. 5 more than, we're adding 5 to it. Twice the width means 2W. So 2W plus the 5. So now over here, L is going to get replaced with 2W plus 5. So we've got 2 times, instead of L, I'm going to put in 2W plus 5. And still plus the 2W out there. So what do I combine first? Yeah. Okay, 2 times 2W is 4W. And then? 2 times 5 is 10. Still have the 2W sitting out there. Next. Okay. 4W and 2W make 6W, and we still have the 10. And then we will subtract the 10. 240 equals 6W, and finally by 6. So 40 equals W. So the width is 40. Two W plus 5 means 2 times 40 plus 5. 2 times 40 is 80, plus 5 is 85 is my length. Not so bad? Okay. Let's say a yard is 40 feet by 28 feet. The owner is going to increase the length and width by the same amount to double the perimeter of the fence, or of the yard. So currently, the yard is 40 by 28. The owner is going to increase the length and width by the same amount. So this amount here is X, going in both directions. To double the perimeter of the yard, well, to start out with, we need to find perimeter of the original yard, the small yard. Well, that's going to be 2 times 40 plus 2 times 28. So 2 times 40 is 80. 2 times 28 is 56. That's 136 feet. Is the perimeter of the original yard. We're going to double that, which means the new perimeter is 136 times 2, 272. So our formula for the new perimeter, P equals 2L plus 2W. We know that the new perimeter has to be 272. The length is now the old length plus X, so L plus X. Well, what was the old length? 40, so let's put 40 in there. Plus 2 times the new width. Well, the old width was 28, and we added X to that as well. So what's our first step going to be here? Distribute. 2 times 40 is 80. 2 times X, 2X. You distribute again here. 2 times 28, 56. And 2 times X, 2X. So 272 equals 80 and 56 make 136. 2X and 2X make 4X. Now what? Subtract 136. So 272 minus 136 is 136 equals 4X. And then divide by 4. So we get 34 equals X. So that means X is 34 If we wanted to know the dimensions of the new yard is going to be 40 plus 34. 74 by 28 plus 34 is 62. So the new yard will be 74 by 62. Make sense? Well, that is really all I have for the day. Since we had a test last class, there is no quiz, but there is a new homework that is due for Wednesday. Wednesday, of course, will be our last really new topic for the week. Thursday, we'll be just kind of wrapping up the week and reviewing the week. Then, of course, next week is spring break.